Hi students, let's continue the class. In the last class, we have studied in detail about photosynthesis. What are the requirements for the process of photosynthesis? They are carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. How these plants absorb water and minerals? These water and minerals are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves by the vessels. What are these vessels then? These are a continuous, these are a pipe-like structures which forms a continuous path or a passage for the nutrients to reach the leaf. These are the pipe-like structures which forms a continuous way for the nutrients to reach the leaf. Then second requirement of photosynthesis, that is carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is absorbed by the tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. These tiny pores are called stomata. See here, these are the stomatas present on the surface of leaf. Through these stomatal pore, the carbon dioxide enters into the leaves. And third requirement of photosynthesis, that is the energy from the sunlight. How this energy of the sunlight is captured by the leaves? Yes, there is a presence of chloroplast in the leaves. This chloroplast helps the leaves to capture the energy from the sunlight by capturing the energy from the sunlight. It helps the leaves to synthesize its food, that is glucose. This is about photosynthesis process. Here photo means light, synthesis means to combine. That means by combining carbon dioxide and water in the presence of light, that is in the presence of sunlight, the plant prepares its food, that is glucose. See, what are the functions of this chloroplast? There are two functions. First one is chloroplast or a chlorophyll gives green color to the leaves, means it provides green pigments to the leaves. And second function of chloroplast is it helps the leaves to capture the energy of sunlight. It helps the leaves to capture the energy of sunlight, which is helpful for the process of photosynthesis. These two are the main functions of chlorophyll in the leaves. Then we have studied about definition of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process in which plants synthesize its own food by utilizing carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. And I have explained about photosynthesis equation in the last class. See here, carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, it prepares the food for plant, that is glucose, and it along with the glucose it also releases oxygen, which is utilized by animals and human beings for their respiration. This is about the process photosynthesis. And we also studied photosynthesis also carry out in other green parts of the plant. Other than leaves, some of the parts of plants also have green color. They are green stems and green branches. These parts of plants also carry out the process photosynthesis for the food preparation. During the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is released. Yes, we all know during this process oxygen is released, and during this process plants produce glucose. That glucose is carbohydrate. And the process of photosynthesis is indicated by the presence of starch in that. Starch is also a carbohydrate. And I have explained some of the leaves are also having red, violet and brown color. Do they carry out photosynthesis? Yes, these leaves also carry out photosynthesis because they also contain chlorophyll. they also contain chlorophyll. But more than chlorophyll, there is a presence of large amount of red, brown and violet colored pigments. These pigments deactivate the coloration of chlorophyll. They deactivate the coloration of chlorophyll, not the function of chlorophyll. There are two functions of chlorophyll. They are providing green color to the leaf and helps in the absorption of sunlight. See here, these red, violet and brown pigments deactivate the color of this chlorophyll, but not the function of chlorophyll to absorb sunlight. That's why these plants perform the process of photosynthesis, but they are having different colors due to the deactivation of green color of chlorophyll by the red, violet and brown pigments. And we also studied about algae in the last class. These algae are present on the surface of water bodies. These algae grow on the stagnant water bodies, means dirty water bodies. These algae grow on the dirty water bodies. And these algae are green in color. Green color means this green color is given by the chlorophyll pigment, means these algae are also having chlorophyll pigment in them. That's why these algae are green in color. The algae shows the presence of chlorophyll, means they can also prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis. Up to here we have studied in the last class. Today we are going to study some other components of food are useful or utilized by the plants. How these some other components of food are utilized by plants, we can study in detail. By the process of photosynthesis, glucose is produced. This glucose is a carbohydrate. Other than carbohydrate, there are some other components of food. What are those? In the first class, I have explained. While explaining the definition of nutrition, I have said some components of food. They are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. Here by the process of photosynthesis, carbohydrates are produced. These carbohydrates are utilized by the plants. Other than these carbohydrates, plants also require some other components of food. They are proteins, vitamins and minerals. How the plants utilize or how the plants synthesize these components of food? Let's study. See the first point. Plants synthesize carbohydrates through the process photosynthesis. That we know. The carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Yes, while explaining about photosynthesis equation, I have said the chemical formula of glucose, that is C6H12O6, means glucose, that is a carbohydrate that contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, means carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. But these plants also require some other components of food. They are protein, vitamin and minerals. The proteins are, see the third point here, the proteins are nitrogenous substances which contain nitrogen. Means plants requires proteins. Plants requires proteins. These proteins are nitrogenous substances which contain nitrogen. Then how these plants gets nitrogen and from where do the plants obtain nitrogen? And we know in the air there is a presence of nitrogen gas. In the air there is a presence of nitrogen gas. See here, nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form in the air. In the air there is a presence of nitrogen gas, we all know. How much percentage of nitrogen is present in the air? See the image here. The percentage of nitrogen in the air is 78%. See, the highest percentage of gas present in the air, that is nitrogen. Nitrogen is the gas which is present in the higher percentage in the air. See the green part of this, oxygen, that is present about 20.9%. Around 21% of oxygen is present in the air. Remaining 1% other gases, argon gas, other gas and carbon dioxide, that is about 0.03%. See here, 78% of nitrogen is present in the air. This nitrogen is required by the plants. How these plants obtain this nitrogen? Let's study. See, nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form in the air. See here, nitrogen present in the abundance means large amount of gas present in the air is nitrogen. But plants cannot absorb nitrogen in this form. See, plants do not have the capability to absorb this nitrogen in this gaseous form. Then how do they obtain this nitrogen? Soil has certain bacteria. Those bacteria are rhizobium bacteria. These bacteria convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form. These rhizobium bacteria which are present in the soil, these bacteria convert this gaseous nitrogen into usable form and release it into the soil. And these are absorbed by the plants along with water. See the nitrogen which is present in the form of gas in the air. This gaseous form of nitrogen is converted by the bacteria called rhizobium bacteria. These bacteria are present in the soil. These bacteria have the capacity to convert gaseous nitrogen into usable form of nitrogen. This converted nitrogen is absorbed by the plants. These are absorbed by the plants along with water. The root of a plant absorb water, we all know. Root of a plant absorb water. Along with that water, plants also absorb the converted nitrogen gas. Along with the water, the plants also absorb the converted usable form of nitrogen gas. Like this, rhizobium bacteria helps the plants to absorb nitrogen gas. And also, one more method to provide nitrogen to the plant is, you have seen farmers, see here, you have seen farmers spreading fertilizers in the field. Fertilizers are rich in nitrogen and also contains other constituents which are required by the plants. This is one more method of providing nitrogen to the plants. First method, that is by the help of rhizobium, these plants are obtain nitrogen. And one more other method, that is spreading fertilizers which are rich in nitrogen. The fertilizers which are rich in nitrogen are spread over the field, and these plants absorb the nitrogen which is present in the fertilizer. Like this, plants obtain nitrogen. And along with the nitrogen, there is a presence of some other constituents in the fertilizers. They are potassium, calcium and sodium. These constituents also present in the fertilizers and which helps the plants for its growth. Plants can then synthesize protein and vitamins. See, here third point, the proteins are nitrogenous substance which contain nitrogen. Means plants require this protein. That protein contains what? Nitrogen. When we provide nitrogen to the plant, it prepares proteins and vitamins. Vitamins also nitrogenous substances. These plants prepare proteins and vitamins by utilizing nitrogen which is produced by the rhizobium, and it is also provided by the fertilizers. This is clear about how plants obtain nitrogen for its growth. See here, up to here we have studied about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Means the plants prepare their food by themselves. Up to here we have studied about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Here some other modes of nutrition found in plants. Here some other mode of nutrition found in plants. Some plants which do not have chlorophyll, they can't synthesize food. Yes, the plants which have chlorophyll, they prepare their own food. But some plants, they do not have chlorophyll. How they synthesize their food? They will not synthesize their food because they depend on others for their food. See the question here. How do they survive and from where do they derive nutrition? Derive means getting. How these plants means the plants which do not have chlorophyll. How do they survive and from where do they get nutrition? See, that is by heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The plants which do not have chlorophyll, they get nutrition by heterotrophic mode. Heterotrophic mode means the organism which gets nutrition from other plants or the organisms which depend on others for their food. The organisms which depends on others for their food, they are called heterotrophs. Here some plants which depends on others for their food means they do not have chlorophyll, that's why they depend on other plants for their food. See here, there is an image I have given. The green leaf of a plant. This green leaf of a plant produces food. This green leaf contains chlorophyll. This green leaf contains chlorophyll. That plant is called host. That plant is, this green part of a plant contains chlorophyll. That means it prepares its own food. The plant, this green plant, it produces food and it provides food to this yellow colored thread like structure spread on this plant. You can observe this green part of a plant that provides the food for this yellow thread like structured plant. That means this green plant is called host and this yellow colored thread like structured plant is called parasite. The plant which provides food, that is called host. The plant or this yellow colored plant which depend on this green colored plant for its food, that is called parasite. See the second image. There are green leaves. This is a green colored plant. On this plant, the yellow colored thread like structures or a thread like plant is spread over it. That yellow color plant, it will not contain, it do not have chlorophyll. That's why this plant obtain or this plant get food from this green plant. This yellow colored thread like plant obtain food from this green plant. The green plant which gives food, that is called host. The yellow colored plant which gets food from green plant, that is called parasite. See here, there is a question in front of you. Can you guess some other example for the parasites? Yes, they are mosquitoes, bed bugs, lice and leeches that sucks blood are also parasites. The food for these organisms is blood. Means these organisms depend on animals for their food. Animals have blood. Means these organisms, the food for these organisms is blood. Means they depend on animals for their food. Mosquitoes, bed bugs, lice and leeches that sucks blood. Hence these are called parasites. The organisms which gets food from other organisms are called parasites, and the organisms which gives food, it is called host. The organism which gets food, it is parasite. The organism which gives food, that is host. This is clear about heterotrophic mode of nutrition found in plants. Okay, the plant which provide food, it is called host. The plant which get food, it is called parasite. See here, some other plants which feed on animals. Have you observed? Have you heard of plants that can eat on animals? Yes, such plants are found. That is, yes, that plant is pitcher plant. Pitcher plant. This plant has green or some other colors like brown, red, etc. See the images here. This plant has green, reddish color, and see the second image. This plant has some brown color patches on it. Means these plants are found in green, red, and brown colors. See these images. See, there is a jug-like structure in these plants. This is nothing but a leaf. The leaf of this plant, this is a pitcher plant. The leaf of this pitcher plant is modified into the form of jug. This is like a jug shape. This is a leaf of a pitcher plant which is modified into the form of jug. The pitcher-like or a jug-like structure is the modified part of leaf. This is the modified part of leaf. Means it is a leaf but it is modified into the form of jug or modified into the shape of jug. Third point, the apex of the leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. This part, the apex of the leaf means the uppermost tip or it is the pointed end of a leaf. It forms a lid means a covering. It forms a covering for the mouth of this pitcher plant. For the mouth of this pitcher plant, the tip of the leaf forms a lid. When the insect sits on this pitcher plant, this lid covers or closes the mouth of the plant. See, inside the picture there are hairs which are directed downwards. Inside this jug-like structure, there is a presence of hair-like structures which are directed downwards. These hairs helps the plant to trap the insect. These hairs helps the plant to trap the insect. See, when an insect lands in the pitcher, the lid closes and the insect is trapped. Then it is digested by the digestive juices secreted in the pitcher and its nutrients are absorbed. See here, when an insect lands on this surface of the pitcher, the lid, the tip of this leaf, it closes and the insect which is land on this surface is trapped inside this jug-like structure, and after trapping the insect is digested by the digestive juices present in this jug-like structure. There is a presence of some digestive juices in this structure. These digestive juices helps this plant to digest the insect which is trapped by the hair-like structures. And after digestion, this plant absorbs all the nutrients present in that insect. Insect also contains some nutrients. All those nutrients which are present in those insect is absorbed by this plant. Such insect eating plants are called insectivorous plants. The plants which feed on insects are called insectivorous plants. Let's know the definition of insectivorous plants. What are insectivorous plants? The plants which get nutrition by eating and digesting insects are called insectivorous plants. See, for example, pitcher plant. Yes, pitcher plant, it gets nutrition by eating and digesting insects. That's why this pitcher plant is called insectivorous plant. That means the plants which get nutrition by eating and digesting insects are called insectivorous plants. See the images of picture plant here. The color of this picture plant is green, brown and red. Even then also, see, if they have green color means they are also having chlorophyll. Then why these plants feed on insects? If the picture plants are green and carries out photosynthesis, then why does it feed on insects? Picture plants are having green color. Green color means they are also having chlorophyll. Then why they feed on animals? They can prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis. Yes, these plants are green and carry out photosynthesis to obtain a part of food required by them. See, by the process of photosynthesis, what is produced? Glucose and oxygen is produced. Glucose is a carbohydrate and oxygen is released out. It is utilized by animals and human beings. But plants also require some other components of food like proteins, vitamins and minerals. Means plants require nitrogen. Means proteins are the nitrogenous substances. Means plants require nitrogen to prepare proteins. That means the insectivorous plants like picture plants, they feed on insects to get nitrogen. Why? Because these insectivorous plants grow in soil which do not contain sufficient nitrogen. To fulfill that nitrogen, these picture plants feed on insects. So these plants feed on insects to obtain the nitrogen needed for their growth. That means these picture plants are green in color and they shows the presence of chlorophyll and they carry out photosynthesis to obtain their food, but they require nitrogen. But they are growing in a soil where the amount of nitrogen is less. That's why these plants feed on insects to fulfill their requirement. To fulfill their requirement of nitrogen, these picture plants feed on insects. Because there is no farmers to provide fertilizers for these plants. That's why these plants are needed to fulfill their nitrogen by feeding on insects. That's why these plants feed on insects to fulfill their nitrogen. Okay students, let me stop here today. We can continue the class tomorrow. Start and keep on making notes.